Great piece, Shakoki. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this copyright that I pushed through, and the person was giving unfavorable reviews on the intellectual property of my channel, um, and basically slandering um, my profile. So I had to get a copyright infringement against the channel and have the video removed. You know, let me say something about like professionalism, right? Um, Professionalism extends to those who you intend to keep near you, right? You wouldn't do anything unfavorable or challenging to someone who you kind of look at as important. You know what I mean? Important in a long scheme of things. You know, you know, I made a comment in the chat basically saying that, you know, they are not children of God because of what they were doing. It's kind of like this thing where like people they're following after Tariq, right? And I always notice that these people they're very light skinned in complexion. I always notice that, right? I have nothing against light skinned people. I love Ethiopians, right? Um, but it's this thing in America where colorism is kind of like just it's unproportionately um out of state. The guy he proceeded to go on the page, my page, right, and talk about how I look and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, saying I'm a tree hugger or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, so I just said, you know what? Let me put this copyright through. And YouTube, they looked at the information that I submitted to them. I submitted my my copyright certificate from the Library of Congress, and they went ahead and removed it. You know what I mean? Like, because all my photos are copyrighted, all my audio files are copyrighted. Um, I was going to get my videos copyrighted, but I didn't. I just said I'll just do the audio, and just do my photos, my still photos. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do things like that because people, they'll mess your brand up. They'll mess your brand up. They'll come on your page, and do unbecoming things that doesn't lead the way to what you would expect. You know what I mean? Like, if you're someone who's just entertaining BS, right? That's not looked at as professionalism. If you're someone like who carries the people on your back, right? Like, you're steady helping people, you steady donating to people and stuff like that. Like, you can't mess up that brand. And like I said, I don't make videos for people to come and watch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that. I don't make videos for people to come and support me. You know what I mean? Because I notice like a lot of people is not on the time I'm on. A lot of people are not doing the things that I'm doing. Because, like, look, when I'm doing things with Africans, right? Because I got a whole contact list of Africans that I speak to, right? And they keep me informed on certain things. They keep me informed on certain things. So it's up to me to keep them informed on what's going on in America with the certain classes. So, like, when I see, like, people just aren't taking things seriously, and I see that certain people are not in certain circles, that's when I remove myself from that entire situation. And I'm just like, I don't want anything to do with Americans, you know? Because look, if you feel a certain way about Africans, right? And me, I look like an African, but I was born in America and my parents was born in America. What does that say about your views on them? What is that what does your view say what does your view say about me? You know what I mean? Like he even called me a tether. That's what I'm saying. I made a video earlier about this. Like I was like, I don't really care about being called a tether. Like, because I've been called a tether before. It's like the second time, third time I was called a tether. You know what I mean? So, like, you gotta be able to be honest about what it is that you see and how you view things. Like, you gotta be able to express yourself. And that's my thing. Like, if I see someone dogging Godfrey, dogging Joy Reid, like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something because, like, for one, a lot of these people that's doing these things, right? They're not even in their league. You know what I mean? Like they're not even in that league. Like Godfrey, his legacy is complete. Joy Reid, her legacy is complete. Us as a whole, us as black people, our legacy is complete. A lot of these people who are doing these things, right? They can't match what we have got accomplished. You know what I mean? So like you gotta be honest about that stuff, man. Like it's time that we look at America differently and that we start to separate certain groups of people from other groups of people. Like we should be living among peasants. You know what I mean? Like people who keep problems pursued. Like we need to be honest about that. Like people who keep problems going on and stuff like that for other people and stuff. Like you would never see me upload a video talking about a group of people and how they're this and how they're that and how they're undeserving, and you'll never see me do anything like that. You know what I mean? Like you will never see me attack another black person. You will never see that. This is just a short answer. You will never see me attack another black person. You will never see that. You know what I mean? And for me to even attack an African, right? I would have to have some sort of proximity to them, like for me to even say anything about them. You know what I mean? Like I would have to have some proximity, and they would have to have done something to me. Africans don't do anything to most people. They don't do anything. That's why people always say, "Oh, Nigerians are scammers." Like we haven't heard that before. You know. So let's try to keep our name clean in these streets, man, and let's make sure like people aren't defacing our image, our brand, our likeness. You know what I mean? Like, let's make sure of that, because, like, what happened to me earlier, it can happen to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I got the video removed. You know what I mean? I got the video removed. Great peace, Yakoki.